Hello, hello, hello. It is time to go over my updated planner stack. This is very exciting, so let's get into it. First, we're going to talk about things that I don't use all the time. So I have my 1 line a day 5-year diary. I very rarely open this up. Every once in a while I take the time to backfill, but most of the time I don't even touch this bad boy. Then we have my Commonplace diary, which is basically where I just brain dump whatever I want. I like having a thick book to be able to do that in, and this is just the extra space if I don't want to put it in my main planner. So at first it was kind of just like a messy play zone. I do use color coding dots for things, but I didn't really like how cluttered everything looked. So I played around a lot with columns and found something that I enjoyed a little bit more and kind of expanded on it so that it was easy for me to reference a page from this book, which is the Commonplace Diary number 1, which is coded CD001. So if I want to reference this idea, I would write CD001-75 for the page number and then -1 for the thought. So this just allowed me to be more specific. I do this also with my Commonplace book. This one though can be a little bit more personal. So I ended up having some of my tarot readings, ideas off of them, creative ideas, memory keeping. This is just kind of a dumping ground of whatever I want. Then we have my more serious Commonplace book, and this is really a place for me to keep track of content that I've consumed that I want to revisit on a regular basis. So I do also have a color coding system here. This is one of my favorite books. I have the quote and then my thoughts. So the quote is in brown and my thoughts or expansions on the quotes is in green. So I do think it's important to list why I'm putting the quote there, because this is my personal Commonplace book, but I don't go too personal with it. Like I don't do random thoughts or memory keeping in here. I really just reflect on the quotes that I put in here. So these are all for that book. These here is a collection of random quotes. So we have stuff from Bob Ross, The Film Booth here on YouTube, Darling Desi here on YouTube. So just random quotes that I've gotten from places. Eisenhower, a quote that I always use but have no clue who it's from, work smarter, not harder, etc., etc. Then I have a little area dedicated to one of my favorite songs by Hosier, Work Song. I just wrote out the entire song and then a little bit of thoughts on it. I don't think I'm going to do this in the future. I think instead I will just write out specific parts that I really like, but you know, still filling things out. And then the book cast. So there's a ton of amazing quotes from this nonfiction book that I started including in here and will continue once I finish annotating that book. And so this doesn't really get filled out very often or used very often. In reality, the things I use the most is these cards here on the side and my Commonplace diary. Now, I do have a full breakdown of this Hobonichi, which is my life tracker, which is the main thing that I end up using. So if you want to see a full walkthrough of this, I will have that linked up here and you can check that out. I do have it set up. There's a little booklet in here that I can use in place of this Commonplace diary if I'm traveling and I run out of space in my daily section. So my dailies is where I do my commonplacing in this book. And like I said, I go into more detail in the other book. Now, in addition to this, which I utilize, the monthly for my content planning, the weekly for general tracking of what I end up doing and planning things out, and the dailies for planning my day and being track of things that I consumed and want to revisit future. Now, when it comes to projects, I feel like it's really hard for me to put them in a book like this and reference them, especially because I don't really have blank note pages in here to do that since I'm doing the daily method instead of, you know, blank pages at the back. So I decided it would be nice to try doing these project cards. Now, I am also trying to use the 12-week year system, and so I do have a project card overview for a 6-week version of that because I do the 12 weeks based off of quarters, and when I started using this we were in the middle of a quarter. So I'm doing a test round, like a half year from week 21 to week 26. I'm focusing on on YouTube, being strategic about the videos that I make. I have a breakdown of how I am planning on using those 6 weeks in my goals. I have video tips that I'm utilizing for the videos that I make, goal breakdown of what I'm trying to achieve in these 6 weeks, and then my weekly scorecards, which are tasks for any given week. Now, I do copy the scorecard information over onto my place so that I have a permanent place for it, but I like referencing the cards because I'm able to break up my tasks based off of these weekly chunks. So these are all of the videos and things that I'm working on this week, and then these are the ones that I'm working on next week, and so on and so forth, so that I can easily move them around. If, for instance, there's no way I can do this week, I can just put that behind next week's scorecard, and that's an easy way to keep track of things. I do also have all of these digitally as well in my note-taking app, but the reason why I don't solely do this in the note-taking digital app is because I find I am less likely to flip through all of the pages in that app the same way I do with a stack of cards or this little filing system that I have. I have my project cards here broken down. These I need to digitize, so they're in the front just to remind me, and then once that's done, I have my YouTube section, all of the cards that I have made for this, which are also coded YT for YouTube, 23 for the year, and then 001 through 30. So that is how I track of that. I also have cards for templates, ideas on how to film certain types of videos, so I don't have to think it all through from scratch every time. And then I just have a backlog of video ideas to choose from when I'm working on my next video. I also have a section for house projects, business projects, and then just the blank cards, along with a archive section in the back for canceled or completed projects, which are mostly YouTube videos. But I do also have my first ever weekly scorecard, so I did 100% on that one, which I don't think is going to happen this week because I may have bit off more than I can chew, but that's okay. I will know better for next time. Now, I tend to leave these kind of stacked aside from whatever I'm working on. So right now, I am working on the 2023 planner stack for Q2. So that's the video that we're doing right now. So I will have these cards because I'm going to edit these videos soon, along with my overview, goal breakdown, and video tips. I just tuck these back here. So these will all go back here so that I have easy access to them. And then this will go here. Then the rest of the cards for this week and the upcoming weeks out of this mini year that I have just sit on a stack on the shelf next to my table so that I can easily access them. And that is pretty much my system. If I need to forward plan, I can do that in my calendar pages with either pen if it's an appointment. If the appointment changes, I either just cross it off or white it out, but typically those go in pen. And if it is a content idea, those go in pencil, since that tends to fluctuate quite a bit depending on how things go. So that is how I forward plan that. I do try and forward plan a little on the weeks. I fill these out the Sunday before. I'll fill out all of my work meetings, and then I will kind of map out a basic idea of what I want to achieve on each day in pencil. As you can see, I do have pencil for filming this video along with a full walkthrough of this planner. That's another video that I'm doing this morning before work, and then I'm hoping this evening to try and edit some of these videos. And this weekend I'm going to be working on a literary tarot deck reading vlog because I thought that would be a lot of fun, and so those are all blocked in. Most of the day on my dailies looks like this, where I have the tasks and the meetings. So this is often a copy of what I put here, but with additional notes based off of things that actually happened throughout the day. And then as cool things happen, I write them out. And that is my current system. Again, all I really need with me is this book and my phone, and I have access to everything that I need, especially if I have my cards in here. But because I also have digital versions of all of the cards, I can also do additional things on my phone. It's just not as fun or motivating for me to work that way, so I use the cards to manage most of that. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. If you made it this far, include a book stack emoji in the comment section down below. Let me know if you do anything like this in your system or what you're using for your planners. I'm a big planner planner fan, and I do want to do more planner videos in the future. So if you like this, do let me know so that I know to do more of them. And that's pretty much it. If you want to watch the detailed flip through of this bad boy, you can catch that video here, and you can catch more planner videos here. All right, thanks so much. I will catch you in the next one. Until then, bye!